Hello, 7th grade. Today's assignment will help us to practice following directions carefully and to be flexible thinkers. When you have assignments with a lot of steps, or you want to turn in an assignment from an app that you may not have used before, it can be tricky to figure out how to get the right work to Google Classroom. So, we're not only going to be working on following multi-step directions, but we're going to practice our workflow strategies. Workflow is the way that you find, organize, turn in, and manage your assignments. Why is workflow important enough to spend our class time practicing it? Well, I'm going to tell you. Having good workflow strategy ensures that you can manipulate documents, find directions, turn in materials from a variety of sources, and it ensures that you're turning the correct items to the correct assignments. Good workflow practices also save you and your teachers time, because they will not have to look hard for the assignment that you meant to turn in, and you will not have to turn things in for a second time. Being good at following instructions and resourceful when you're in new territory will bring you success in every class that you will ever take. We understand that watching or reading tutorials is not a lot of fun. I would prefer to be an expert and know exactly what to do all the time without having to slow down to read or watch instructional materials, but that's not really realistic. In the end, I'm saving myself a lot of time by reading the directions. A strategy that works for me when I'm trying something new is to try it on my own first before watching the instructional tutorial or reading a how-to document. This works for me because I have a little bit of experience in the app or the process before watching the video or reading the document. Sometimes I can even figure it out on my own. But when I do get stuck, or if I'm questioning that I'm not sure that I'm doing something correctly, I have to stop and take the time to look at the help materials. Today's assignment is not really a lot of work, but it is difficult. It's difficult because there are many steps to pay attention to, and you may not know exactly how to do every step yet. However, we've ensured that you'll be able to find everything you need to figure it out. Today's assignment is called Turnitin Workflow Challenge. It's right under the podcast introductions section, and it's labeled with the dates December 14th and 15th. So we're going to look at this real quick. So open the assignment, and the first thing you should see are the instructions in all caps. So that's what we want to look at first. We're going to tap open the instructions. So we have some instructions here of our finished product. So there's a link to some resources here if you need some help. And then here are the directions. Attach each of the items below to this assignment in Google Classroom. This assignment is called December 14-15 Turn It In Challenge. Make sure to read each instruction carefully. My suggestion would be to look at all of the instructions and then just start by looking at number 1 and nothing else. And then when you're done with number 1, move on to number 2. Try not to get overwhelmed, step by step. So here's in a nutshell what we're going to be doing. We're going to attach 6 things to this assignment, and we're going to remove the 4 things that are on it to begin with. So we're going to attach a link to a podcast episode that we liked to the assignment. Then we're going to attach any photo from our Photos app on our iPad. We're going to attach a Notability document. Make sure to name it appropriately. Whenever you have a chance to name something, give it a name that makes sense. It's much easier for you to find later and for teachers to know what's inside if the name of the file represents what's inside of it, instead of my song or my project or my slides or something like that. Put what it's about as a title. Attach a recent assignment from another class, and I gave a hint where to find one. Attach an Explain Everything file and name it Advice. So again, you're going to have to rename it. We're also going to share it as a document because you have some choices when you go to put it in Google Classroom. Attach a voice file from GarageBand, and there's directions on what that voice file should contain. And then lastly, when you have all 6 of those things attached to your assignment, before you hit the Turn In button, delete anything that we don't need here.